How to report the news and save your planet in 6 easy steps. Welcome to Earth, I'm your host. You are in an emergency situation right now. The state of your political system's in crisis.
CNN, fake news CNN.
Your media, which is critical to your survival, is severely compromised. Now, the problem can be reduced to 4 main issues. Your corporate media ignores context, and it covers news like gossip and entertainment. Their primary purpose is selling their owners' products, delivering the news in little bite-sized chunks whose ultimate effect is to promote a religion of consumerism. They serve as a PR tool for the 2 factions of the ruling class. Fox and a few others take this to extremes, acting as pure propaganda machines on the level of North Korean state television, or V for Vendetta. Almost nothing on Fox is factual. According to PolitiFact, only 10% of stories on Fox are completely true. Your Republican leadership shamelessly supports the greatest domestic terror threat to your country, has compromised your national security, is dismantling any protections you have against corporate tyrannies. They're engaged in tax scams to enrich the donor class, and they're using emotional wedge issues and endless misinformation to obscure their motives from their supporters. Now, besides the obvious problems that this creates, it renders them incapable of holding the other faction of the ruling class accountable for anything of real significance, because any efforts to increase accountability and control over your own country would actually hurt their bottom line. Lastly, and perhaps the most dangerous, the Republican faction of your ruling class is actively instituting policies to worsen the global climate crisis, which is reducing our planet's ability to sustain humanity. All of this needs to be fearlessly called out, and any semblance of legitimacy that the party formerly known as Republican may have ever had now must be crushed by all the sane voices at once. Now, the challenge is doing that while simultaneously addressing the corporate takeover of the Democratic Party that Roosevelt warned against. He said the party has failed consistently when it has fallen into the control of those interests which think in terms of dollars instead of in terms of human values. Unfortunately, his assessment was correct.
3 speeches for Goldman Sachs. You were paid $675,000 for 3 speeches. Was that a mistake? Was that a bad error in judgment?
That's what they offered. So.
And in great part, that is what has contributed to bringing us all to this crisis point. So, I have a suggestion, and that is to address all of these complex issues by refocusing the news through the lens of 6 truth bombs, or 6 elements of life, or as internet clickbait would say, 6 easy steps to saving your world. Number 1, your home is a planet. You live on the bottom of an ocean floor, an ocean made of oxygen, and your ocean is shallow. It's a short 60-mile trip from here to outer space. And the thing is, you're so used to seeing this beautiful picture of your home, but this is not where you live. You live in this part, the very bottom of it, and your tiny, delicate little onion skin of a home is getting really warm. Now, there's some great ideas how to reverse that, and they involve economics. Economics is a science. It's not a religion. It has a purpose, which is to understand how to manage the distribution of your best ideas and resources for the good of your species. Now, when you get it right, you're like a big happy family, and the aliens are less likely to colonize you for food. To apply your best economic practices, however, you need good politics. These days, the word politics implies factions wrestling for power, liars manipulating the media to spin perception for personal gains. Now, that's not what politics is for. The word politics is actually from ancient Greece. Aristotle used it to describe the affairs of cities in a book that he called, get ready, politics. Politics are the social systems that you need to have in place to manage your economic practices. Now, there's no chance that you can have effective politics if you don't have good communication. The purpose of your mass media is to report and share information back and forth, connecting people from the local to national and global levels, and that information has to be scientifically sound and factual for rational and informed decision making. Let me say that a different way. It should not be persuasive, it should be true. For the mass media to provide any service to you whatsoever, humanity must be its highest value, and humanity is best understood through your culture. So let's start with the arts. They get as close as possible to the fundamental essence of what it means to be a human being. The arts are like a magic portal, allowing you to step into each other's shoes and laugh and sing and dance and hurt and learn and feel your oneness. And your collective myths are your metaphors for life. But culture is not only the arts, it's science and cooking, gardening, mathematics, medicine, architecture, city planning. Any inspiration that ennobles or benefits life on Earth and enables you to be more conscious and connected through your talents and abilities, which are certainly not given to us just to enrich ourselves, but for the benefit of all humankind. After all, that is what makes us human. Which brings me to the last and most important prism through which we should review new information: goodness. Due to problems and misunderstandings of the first 5 items, the word God reeks of snake oil for an increasing number of Americans.
How much money did you pay for Tyler Perry's Gulfstream jet, for example?
He made that airplane so cheap for me, I couldn't help but buy it.
And spirituality can smack of self-help programs, which is not helpful. So let's use the word goodness. Goodness means the highest good is not ourselves, because if we ever take too much credit, we're led to hubris, which is legendary for ruining all good endeavors. We're here for a short time. We're guests, and it's pretty clear what the point is: to take care of each other and our home. Which brings us back to 1. And those are the 6 steps to reporting the news if you want to save your planet. I intend to do my best. Until next time.